Thank you. You're far too kind. I want to thank you for coming out today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Welcome to This Can't Be Life podcast pilot. I'm your host, Donell Roberts. Today, we're going to discuss how to get into your bag, okay? And I know, I already got the bag. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to get into your to a whole different kind of bag. You know what I mean? But before we get into that, let's give a quick little back brief on who I am. All right, just in case you don't know. As I said before, I'm Donell Roberts. I'm from Pontiac, Michigan. Shout out to the Yak. Shout out to the Yak, man. I'm from Pontiac, Michigan, born and raised. Joined the military when I was about 18. But before that, pretty normal childhood. You know what I mean? Normal is growing up in Pontiac can be. My parents had 6 kids, stepdad, mom. My mom had 5. My dad came in with 2. And, just a real beautiful family. We grew up religious after a while, you know what I mean? Just a beautiful family, We definitely still close to this day. We definitely always spend a lot of time together. My brother, my sister, and my younger brothers, they my best friends, you know what I mean? So growing up, we obviously wasn't the richest family. We grew up on a one income household. My mom worked in fast food my entire life. She just recently, within the past 4 or 5 years, stopped working in fast food. So we struggled, man. And in Michigan, the Detroit, Pontiac, they ruthless, man. They will, if you ain't got the dopest, freshest, of this, the new, they will murder you. You will not make it. But we made it work. You know what I mean? My mom just was a fighter, man. That woman, round of applause for mom, cause she was a man. Moms play no games, Like I said, got up and worked every day. Worked in fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. I mean, where didn't she work? Wendy's. Shout out to all of the fast food employees, man. I know how hard it is. Just continue to grind, man. Continue to fight, man. My mom owns her own business now. Owns the building that her business is in. You know what I mean? Just through diligence and hard work, man. Staying focused, man. And it's possible for anybody, I believe. So, it's just a matter of what you willing to sacrifice. But nevertheless, for me, man, like I said, it was hard, man. I mean, we kind of from the hood, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say kind of, I'm from the hood. So it had its good days and bad days, you know what I mean? Like, you from the hood, so the sense of community was there, you know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I went to Longfellow Elementary School and got in trouble at school, and I swear to God, I got 3 whoopings. Swear to goodness, excuse me. That I got whooped like 3 times before I even made it home. So 2 of my grandmothers stayed on the same street, and then my grandmother's best friend, definitely went upside my head before. And I mean, this is before moms even got home from work, So yeah, man, it just interesting childhood, but I'm a firm believer. Shout out to Tribe, my company Tribe. I'm a firm believer that it takes a community to to raise a child. So I owe a lot of my own success to that community. But it wasn't all peaches and cream though. You know what I mean? Wait, well, where do I start, man? Yeah, for me personally, I was a pretty active kid for the most part. Love playing basketball. I mean, if you ask anybody from my neighborhood, I wasn't any good, but when I travel, when I go out here, I'm dope. I'm fire out here. Back home, I'm trash, but out here, I'm the cold one. So all y'all, everybody that I grew up with, where I was the sorry one, I'm in the world, I'm fire. On fire. I'm fire. Yeah, man. Just was a pretty active kid. Struggled in school, man. Up and down. It was always up and down. Elementary school, everybody was pretty good in elementary school. I was pretty good. I was okay in elementary school. Got to middle school, man, and I don't know what happened. I hit a brick wall for some reason. I just hit a brick wall. Elementary school was easy, light, man, compared to middle school. Middle school, matter of fact, man, I was in special ed in middle school. No. Yeah. Special ed, yes. I was in special ed in middle school, man. I was in the classroom where it was like 6 of us. It was me, and I ain't about to name no name. Yeah, I went to Jefferson Whittier Middle School, man. I was in special ed in 6th grade, man. A lot of people don't know that, man. I'm not embarrassed about it, man. I don't know what happened. We was, and then, it's all cool. But when, your friends want to come get you, man, we're going to walk to the next class. And they be like, hey, why 6 of y'all in that class? Right? Like, oh, that's that's advanced calculus at Jefferson Whittier, man. Stop playing, man. Yeah, it was interesting, man. 6th grade I was in special ed. 7th grade I ended up getting out and joining general population. and it was definitely just a battle to get back on track, as we all have our battles to get back on track. And then, by the time I got to 8th grade, I was straight A student, president of the student council, so yeah, man, and just, the battles of education, man. Education is super important. I'm actually a couple credits away from graduating with my degree. I mean, it took me 10 years, but I'm finally here. You know what I mean? I've never got anything less than an A. I take my studies very, very serious. So, it just shows what like I say, dedication and hard work can do. Because was not the smartest kid. Go back to the story and got to high school, man, and it was the same thing all over again. Hit that as soon as I got in. I hit that wall. I was at Northern, man, and Northern just was it was, high school was a whole nother beast, and my GPA was like a 0.5, man. I don't even know, because it wasn't like I was skipping. You know what I mean? I wasn't one of those kids that was like skipping school and like in the lunchroom and all that. I didn't skip. I was there. I was in class. I just was, I don't know. Just didn't get it. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention. I just didn't get it. I don't know. Man, end up transferring halfway through my sophomore year to Waterford, Vermont. Yeah, them Corsairs. Transferred to Waterford, Vermont, man, and this is when it was only a handful of like African Americans at Waterford, Vermont. And it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. Everybody was it was super cool. Got to my man and still just didn't have it figured out. Ended up having to go to a alternative school. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That alternative school. I don't even remember the name of it, but I went there for like a year and a half and got my credits up. And right before my senior year, or right at my senior year, I transferred back to Waterford, Vermont, and ended up graduating on time and all that. But man, I think I brought like 2 credits from my first year and a half of high school, from Pontiac schools to Waterford schools, because I don't know. When it was like, they was definitely like gym credits and like drafting or something like that. It was something super light, but it was it was cool, man. It was, my childhood was different, man. My real father had passed when I was like 9, and I mean, we weren't really that close, so it didn't really affect me. I think about it now because it's great to know your history and kind of where you come from, but outside of that, I'm good. You know what I mean? I got a that step with the best of them. You know what I mean? My stepdad is a good guy, man. He definitely has taught me a lot, man. And then, I hold a strong standard when it comes to men. That's exactly a strong part of why I'm doing this podcast, because I feel like there's a lot of males in this world, but there's not a lot of men. And for every man that there's even less fathers. And I feel like, as far as being a male or being a man, the greatest title that you can have is being a father. And I want everyone, including myself, every single day to be better at that. But getting off track, I joined the military at 18. Airborne, air assault. Shout out to the, you already know. The boy was badged up, did a tour to Afghanistan, OEF 1112. It was that experience for me was outside of, I hate to say it, it was probably the most pivotal point in my life, and I hate to say it because, I have children and everything that I've been through, but that was the turning point for me, you know what I mean? From everything that I seen, everything that I experienced to being over there for a whole 365 days, man. And I was married when I went over there. Was getting a divorce by the time I got back. I had a son when I went over there. And honestly, when I went over there, I wasn't sure if I wanted to come back. Where I come from, I think the most honorable thing I could have done with my life at that point, my mindset, if I would have died over there, I really couldn't have done any better than that. You know what I mean? I didn't look at myself as being anybody that was of value. And I felt like that me sacrificing my life in Afghanistan for my country would have been the greatest thing that I could do. And somehow I survived it. That's not funny, but and that was one of the hardest parts in itself about that, because I had a really good friend when I was a kid, man, that was shot and killed. I think right when we turned 18. Me and his birthday was on the same day. He was born on the same day. That was my guy. And me and him, we were super close in middle school and the freshman year of high school, and then I was at Northern, he went to Central, and I went to Waterford, and we just kind of fell off. And he passed. He got shot, like I said. Rest in peace to Corey Adams. And once I joined the military, I feel like that I had survived Pontiac. You know what I mean? One of my other best friends was doing 4 years in prison. I don't really know if I want to say his name. I'm not trying to kind of, real, you know what I mean? Say his government, you know what I mean? But yeah, my boy Real got locked up for 4 years, and then my cousins and friends and people was getting shot and stabbed, and it just. So when I joined the military, I really thought I had survived growing up in Pontiac, you know what I mean? Just to make it out. I used to get survival's remorse, you know what I mean? And I mean, when my friend was locked up, I wrote him, you know what I mean? And told him this kind of stuff. And told him that I loved him and all that. But I used to feel guilty for making it out. And not that I was super successful or anything, but I had seen some things, you know what I mean? And the things that I had seen, I almost felt guilty about. Well, I did. And then going to Afghanistan, man, and, considering how many people don't make it back from that, and how many people that just never get to experience life, man, it threw me for one, really bad. So when I came back from Afghanistan, man, I was on some self-destruct, you know what I mean? I was drinking every night, getting into fights, and I got tased by the police. I didn't get arrested. I got into a fight, and what was it? My younger brother was there too. Yup, he was, and a couple of my friends, and yeah, I got tased. Got tased by the police, man, and they just, they let me off with a warning, though. I told them I was just defending myself, and they knew I was military and all that, so they gave me a pass. Black privilege. Shout out to the, I know y'all young African Americans don't think y'all got black privilege, but it's a thing. But yeah, so yeah, came back from Afghanistan, got a divorce, had another kid. This was, man, out of control, man. I truly was. I was out of control. I just didn't have a compass, and I was everywhere, chasing every vibe, and that's what kind of brings me to the discussion for the podcast for today is, kind of as an individual figuring out what your vibe is, or what your wave is, or what your bag is, and how to get into your bag, or more or less, what is your purpose as a person? You know what I mean? We can make it sound cool and make it sound fresh, but basically what I'm trying to discuss is what your purpose is as an individual. You know what I mean? Because if you really think about it, everybody, man, a lot of us are just chasing every single vibe, chasing every single wave, dressing this way because everybody else is doing it, doing this because everybody else is doing it. I mean, even if you consider this podcast, right? Now, in the military, I've always been a person that led from the front. You know what I mean? I've always been one to pour into people positivity and direction and motivation. So this podcast is not because podcasting is a wave, because it is. It definitely is. I see it. I mean, even just getting the equipment and everything, it was like, oh, you starting a podcast? Okay. We can show you what to do, what to get, Here you go. You can get you need this, you need that. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? and just it's a wave, so it's so easy to get caught up in every single vibe that come your way. But if you're not living in your purpose, then you ain't living. Drake said, everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And it's so, so true, because we all are on this earth, but how many of us really experience life? I've seen the things I've seen through these eyes. I've seen a child in Afghanistan. They got these huts, and their homes is like made out of mud, basically. And this kid was out there playing with this rock, man. And this kid was the most happiest, most satisfied, most enjoying child that I've seen in so long. And it's because, like, we believe that success or materialistic things is our purpose in life. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, think about it like this. When you pride yourself on a type of car that you drive, or a car just in general, a crib, having a house, you know what I mean? And, having a relationship. If you got those couple things going for you, you think you winning. And that kind of stuff gets achieved at such a young age. So you're basically telling me that, like, at 18, I was 19. I got married at 19. I got married. I had a car. I had 2 cars. I had a crib. We had a nice house. But wasn't happy. Definitely, we were financially okay, but was not happy. Didn't know what success was. That stigma of success is not reality. Success is based off of relationships and you living out your purpose. Now, this podcast is not. This ain't a military podcast. This ain't a black podcast. This is not a religious podcast. This is none of that. This is about people mentally being better than the day before. I'm not trying to get you to the level to where now you like Eric Thomas and TD Jakes and who else is out there, and like all these. I hate the name drop. I'm just. All I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to get you to be a motivational speaker, because I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a doctor. This is none of that. All it is just trying to give you a little more direction in life, so you have a better life, a little better life. That's it. Just a little bit better than the day before, because you can ultimately, honestly, you can have everything that you have today, tomorrow. But if you have a better understanding of who you are and what you were set here to do, and if you're moving, taking steps and strides in that direction, oh my God, life can be so much better. It could be so much easier. It could feel better. It could smell better. Life could just be your wave. Your wave, your vibe. And if we can get to that, then I think I'll be living my purpose. I'll be helping you, and then you can be living your purpose, and then you can help the next person, and ultimately this world might be a better place. Look at me trying to, oh man, I'm trying to change the world. I'm not, bro. I'm just trying to change one person. That's it. If we can just get to one person. But let's get back to it. First and foremost, understanding your purpose, understanding what you do better than anything else in this world. And it's definitely not you punching that clock for somebody else. You working at 9 to 5. Now I'm not trying to give you a new career. Like, oh, Donell told me to quit my job and leave my husband, leave my wife, and go figure myself out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if you sit down with yourself, an hour a day, just an hour. If you don't, what's recommended is give yourself a couple days, 72 hours. Just be in complete silence. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can get a hotel room or you go somewhere, get away. 72 hours, just complete silence. No cell phone, no other person, no interruptions, just you looking inside of you. You being in complete silence, you listening to your thoughts, you listening to what is placed on your heart, what your core, what you are telling you. You know what I mean? Once you listen to that and figure out what it's telling you, what you hearing, and then kind of look at the history and kind of your track record in life. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I actually have been doing that, and I have been. I mean, not subconsciously, not even noticing. Like that's you. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do better than anything else in this world. And when you figure that out, man, it's beautiful. It truly, truly, truly is. So how do we figure that out? You know what I mean? Like I said, take 72 hours to yourself. Take an hour, even if you don't have that, because I know everybody ain't got that, right? But once you reality, you know what I mean? The kids, and I don't know if you got a spouse or whatever, but even if you don't, once you tuck the kids in the bed, go sit somewhere for an hour. Pure silence. No cell phone. No Facebook. No Instagram. And be with you. Be with yourself. And listen to what your heart is telling you. Have that moment for you. And be conscious. Be conscious in that moment. And open up your ears and listen. Because you have been placed on this earth for a divine purpose. Every single individual on this earth has a purpose. And you listening to your heart, listening to your core, listening to that divine voice inside of you that's telling you exactly what you were placed on this earth to do. Once you figure that out, you can start making strides in that direction. Thank you guys so much. We truly, truly appreciate it. We hope that you were able to take something away from today's podcast. Definitely take that hour for yourself to figure out your purpose. Get into your bag. Also, go like us and follow us on Instagram at Tribe Brand. And go subscribe to the YouTube. Tribe Brand. You know what time it is. And just being extra. Man, listen, we love you guys, man. Take care of yourselves, man. Take care of your country, take care of your community. And most importantly, take care of yourself, because that only benefits the tribe. Blessings.